Good afternoon. For activity 135, number 4, it asks you to create a new title block from a not new title block template. I'm sorry. What I did was I opened up Canvas, and then I opened up the activity 135, and right here it tells us for number 4. Here's the Mountie Paw image to download. So this is an image of Suffern's Mountie Paw that we're going to go ahead and place in the title box, and then we're going to go ahead and edit it. So I'm going to click on download. So that's going to go ahead and download my Mountie Paw image. Okay, now on your PC or your Mac, it's going to save it in your documents or in your downloads folder rather. And on a Chromebook, it's going to save it in your Google Drive. So I can close that. I can close this here. Okay, next I'm going to go to my tab that has Autodesk Inventor in it. Next, I am going to go ahead and first I have to upload it to Autodesk. Autodesk Fusion, not Autodesk Inventor, Autodesk Fusion. I'm going to click on this Show Data Panel. Looks like a tic-tac-toe board, 9 boxes. And I'm going to click on Upload. It should be in my first project, which is where all my files are saved. So I'm going to click on Upload. And notice it opens up a new tab. Before I was in the Autodesk Fusion. Now it's in myhub.autodesk 360. Here I want all my files are saved by default in my first project. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now I'm going to click on Upload. I'm going to upload a file. Now I need to find that image that I just have. If it's on your PC or Mac, you're going to have to find it locally on your computer. If you have a school Chromebook, it's going to automatically save it in your Google Drive. So now I can either find it, I can scroll down and look for it. I saw it a moment ago. There we go. There's the Mountie Paw, mountiepaw.jpg. We can click open. Okay, so now it uploaded it. So that way it's in my Autodesk Fusion account. So that way I can close this tab. And now I'm back to my Autodesk window. Now I can close this data panel, close the data panel. Now I'm going to click on what looks like this tic-tac-toe show data panel. Oh, I'm sorry. Now I'm going to click on the little down arrow next to file, click on that. And I'm going to choose new drawing template. And we want the template to say from scratch. And the standard should be American Society of Mechanical Engineers, ASME. If it doesn't say that, if it says ISO, that's the International Standards Organization. ISO would be metric. We want it to be ASME, so make sure it says ASME. Make sure your units are set to inches. Okay, and the sheet size should be B, 17 by 11. And we'll click OK. 17 by 11 is essentially the twice as big as a normal piece of copy paper. Next, it defaults to this placeholder view. I'm going to click cancel to close out that placeholder view. Next, I'm going to go ahead and use the pan tool, and I'm going to try to get this title block in the center. I want this centered. And now I'm going to use my scroller wheel in order to make it bigger. I'll use the pan also to go ahead and make sure that it's fairly well centered. Okay, that looks good. Now I hit escape on my keyboard to go ahead and get out of that pan tool. Notice the hand goes away. I'm going to left click on my title block. And notice when I left click on it, you'll see it goes blue. Now I'm going to right click on my title block and I'm going to choose edit title block. And now I'm going to go ahead and give it a new name. Okay, instead of calling it ANSI underscore title block, I'm going to call it Mountie title block. Now I'll click OK. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and where it says approved by, I'm going to just click on that and then I'm going to right click and delete approved by. And the approved date, I'm going to right click and also delete that. Right click and delete. And I'm going to change approved. I'll double click approved and now it allows me to rename it and I'm going to call it Suffern High School. Oops, it's not allowing me to edit it. So let me double click at the backspace. Suffern High School. Traditionally, we always want to use all capitals. So that's why I'm leaving it all capitals. It's not screaming. So Suffern High School. Everything else we're going to leave the same. The project title, code drawing number, the size, which is the size of the drawing, the scale we're going to leave, the weight, sheet, drawn by, checked. We're going to leave all that. And now next thing we're going to do is we're going to insert our image. So I go to insert an image, and I'm going to click on my Mountie paw, and then I click on insert. And now the Mountie paw is going to be too big, so I'm going to scale it down. I'm going to change the scale to 0.60. It's going to make it a little bit better size. And this is essentially where it's going to be. Okay, now in order to, when I placed it, I didn't put it in the right spot. So I'm going to go ahead and change it. I want it to go down. So maybe I'll go -1 to go 1 inch down. Okay, I'm sorry, that's in the X direction. Not -1, maybe -0.5. That goes in the X direction. That looks good. Now in the Y direction, I'm going to need to go down a little bit. Maybe I'll do a -0.5. Okay, I still need to go more than that. So maybe I'll do a -1. There we go. Maybe a little bit more than that, -1.1. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good. It's inside my title block. And now I can click OK. Now I'm going to click on Finish Title Block. Okay, so there we go. Now I'll just make sure that I've saved it. So I'm going to click on Save. So that way and where am I going to? I'll leave this in my first project, and I'm going to call this Mountie Paw. Mountie Paw. Paw. And now I'll click Save. So that's how to create your own customized title block.